Welcome to a summary of our book club, Parenting and Non-Religious Spirituality. In our last meeting, we read an amazing book that we both love, Beyond Religion, Ethics for a Whole World. Ethics for a Whole World. I'm repeating these words with intention by the Dalai Lama. And why won't you share a little bit of what we talked about and your reflections, and then I'll share mine.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you, Efrat. Yeah, the whole world. Maybe that is one of the key things that really struck me in the book. It's an exploration of what keeps everything together, what is within and beyond religion, that we need to explore as a human family. And I loved about the book the different approaches that he's taking to look deeply into the role of religion, and yet opening up new doors for exploration. Maybe this is what I can say. And this is what I really liked, and I think this is why we chose it, because it's its source, it's not limited. Even from our spiritual tradition, wherever we come from, we can find something in this book. We can find that an important thing, like an anchor that holds us together. And this is what I really liked. So on a more general basis, anything when you say like, okay, and there's this one thing that I really liked, what was it for you?
So yeah, I relate to everything you said about the general, the big picture. It's I think the Dalai Lama holds this vision for many of us. Not a vision just of the wisdom of the tradition that he comes with and represents, but it's like he has all kind. He also, it's seen in his books that he has those type of books that share his tradition and the wisdom that he's a messenger of, and then there are those books like this book, Beyond Religions, that invite us to take a step beyond anything we know. And it's like it's beyond anything we know because we're so caught in spiritual traditions, in perceptions of religion. Even if we're secular, we have so many things internalized in us. And then it's an invitation to shed all of it and just see our shared humanity, regardless of where we come from, regardless of the belief system, regardless of cultural do's and don'ts, just seeing that we're all basically human. And as we often talk about, we're more than human, we're a spiritual being on a human journey, but that's like, and the ethics for being human, when we see the humanity in everyone, are simple. It's a reflection of saying yes to seeing ourselves in our wholeness in the mirror. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would be my general. But if you go to specifics, I'm passing it to you.
Let me just see. What is one thing when he thinks about the well-being, for example, it's about health, friendship, and companionship. And naming these things, I can totally agree with that. And healthy also includes, of course, mental health, and what it's not like physical health, that is also one limiting belief factor, I think, in our society. Most of it, if we are healthy, our body is healthy, but it's so much more about it. And he dares to take a few values and explore on them. And I think that is one thing that is very much needed, that we agree on values and say that it's important for everybody. For everybody, no matter where you come from or how you interpret it or how you live your friendships. That might be different, but friendship, companionship, they are such deep values. And this is what I like. It's all over the book. He has these things, these values, and he carries them forward and brings them to our attention. And it made me relax, because I thought, yes, it feels good to read it. Maybe I felt it, but it's good. Maybe you feel the same. So we have something to to relax into, and don't hide. And I think what this book can do, or can provide also for parents, is a ground and an allowance to trust and to be sure that there are values that we share. They are present, even if we make them, they are hidden somehow. They are not made explicit in our societies, but they are.
Yeah, they are, and we share them, and we've used them in children, because regardless where a child is born to, they have the potential, they have the knowing of kindness, of friendship, of compassion. So it's like, what we teach them the opposite of what we want. We teach them how to become individualized often, instead of nurturing those values which he's relating to. And I too really, really related to the weaving of all aspects, the mental, the knowledge, the science behind this.
Yeah.
And then the energy. It's a book that has, like all of his books, energy. So we can relax into a vision. And I felt, well, I read it so many times, and I usually have it by my bed. It's like a book that I have if I want to open something. It's holding a vision of something, of the possible, of the possible. It was very in a very simple way, in a very, very simple way. I have a quote here. I don't know why I chose this quote. It's like, we open the book, so that's what we do in our book club. You don't have to read the books when you join us. You just need to either have the book and open the book, or say, oh, I like number 25, and that's where we'll find it for you if you don't have the electronic version. And we just see what quotes talk to us. So it's a paragraph, and it just came up. So let's see what comes up again. Following it. Every situation we face in life arises from the convergence of a great number of contributing factors. So taking a broad view is essential if our responses are to be realistic. It is not enough to look at any given situation or problem from only one perspective. We need to look at it from this direction and that direction, from all sides. As I often say, we should look from front and back, the 2 dimensions, from the right side and the left side, 4 dimensions, and from above and below, making 6 dimensions. When we do this, when we take this kind of broader or more holistic perspective, our responses will definitely be more in tune with reality. And with this, we are more likely to achieve our objectives.
I love that one.
I think we can quote every paragraph here, but this is what came up this book club meeting. So,
but this one I remember particularly because I thought about it a lot. Is it also what he says afterwards? It's an invitation also to pause.
Yes.
Because you can't look at all the dimensions at once, because mostly not, or you can train it, but it also needs time.
Yes.
And
openness.
And very much openness, and an allowance also to see it maybe from behind. It looks slightly different. Maybe I don't like what I see, but it's also there. And the invitation not to trust the first, for example, anger, the first response, it must be like this, to have all the answers ready. This is what normally happens. You see something and then you know it. Because but this, especially, it was also about how to deal with conflicts. Pause, look at it, analyze, dare to create a new picture in your mind. And that's an amazing thing. And I love the idea that this is what is good about it, because it's so practical. You can really, what I did is like I imagined a problem or a conflict and really made myself walk around it. To work with this picture, it can help a lot also for children. You can do it with them. Imagine you really walk around it and look at it from each and every side, and even from what does it do to your brain, and what does it do to your perception and to your to your compassion and to
Yeah,
your
I have an image coming to me of a kid looking, you know, at the air from the bottom from the but that's what they do because they have this wisdom. And I think this is why part of what we chose this book to bring into a parenting book club, because it offers us so many profound nuggets of wisdom that we can take into our parenting. Both the what we talked before, the foundation of what are values of being, of humanity, what values do we share across every culture, even conflicting ones, that are true to each child and are embedded in the seeds and potential of each child when they show up, when they come and share our lives in those first moments. And then there are also so many tools like this one in the quote that always look at the directions, look at the perspectives. In our shamanic tradition, we use that. We rise from the serpent to the jaguar, to the hummingbird, and to the eagle view, the big bird, the bird's eye view of what is going on. And
right.
And you know, and we've talked before about why is something happening? What is invitation for our child? What is invitation for us as their parent? What is invitation for our whole family? There is always other additional aspects to whatever we're facing. And but then there's also just foundational wisdom, because it's kindness always helps.
Yes.
Compassion always opens our hearts and dissolves almost any wounding that we carry. So
the importance of sharing, he's also mentioning on that, how important it is. And what I want to add from the different perspectives is, if we really go to the energetics in our tradition, we accept the unknown. We accept the dimension that we yet don't know, and maybe we will not ever understand. And this is what I also love about it. So we don't have to solve everything, and this is what he also comes back to. But we have to accept, respect, still love it, embrace it in a way, even if it doesn't make sense for our human brain or our human experience the way we have it. This is what I really, really like about it.
But it does make sense to our essence.
Yes.
And our shared essence is mostly pure and innocent and knowing and happy to share and happy to evolve together and not consume and take and be in conflict. That's not our natural. I know a lot of people say it is, but I never agree with that. It's not our natural state, and you see it in children because they hold that potential. And I think that for our communities of spiritually aware parents and families, it's even more significant, because the sensitive children, that's part of what they struggle with when they're facing the confusion, if we call it in a broader, partially compassionate term of others around them. Yeah. And then they need that reinforcement, and I think this book offers that empowering and the reminder and the reflection and the confirmation of those values within us parents or teachers or other adults for children, and then we can reflect that back and nourish what they know and their wisdom.
Yeah. And I think for parents, for me, it was also important to read that he refers a lot to like leaders or people who lived their dream.
Yeah.
Like Gandhi or Martin Luther King or himself. Of course, he didn't say it like that, but he's one of them. And that it's important to also sometimes to remember or be reminded through somebody living and dream, an idea, and especially the value of nonviolence, which is so important for children. Is to say it's no weakness, it's not weak, and it's not accepting. And I think he really elaborates on that the nonviolent approach it's a very strong one, it's a very aligned one, and it's important to let children know that it's a possibility and it's a strong one.
It's a strong one, and choosing nonviolence is being in your power.
Yeah.
That's being in your power. Choosing violence never is.
So
Yeah.
I think we could go on with this book for forever, and I can understand that you have it on your next to your bed, because whenever you open it, it's like you find new inspiration.
Yeah, it goes deep. So just before we finish, I will read the back end. I think that's a good summary of this book. I'm feeling called to, so I'll do it. Religion is not the only way to pursue a spiritual life. It may seem extraordinary to hear one of the world's best-known spiritual leaders say that we need to move beyond the dictates of faith. Yet, that is exactly what His Holiness the Dalai Lama does in this groundbreaking book. Drawing upon his extensive experience at the front line of spirituality, science, and politics, he reasons that we need to move beyond religion if we care about the future of our world. His Holiness shows us the current debate can no longer be divided into atheism versus belief. The issues are far more complex. We must marry compassion with reason if we wish to sustain and improve life on this planet. In Beyond Religion, he leads the way toward a workable system of secular ethics grounded in common humanity rather than in belief. Thank you for joining us for this summary.
Thank you for reading it.
We always follow guidance. If I'm guided to read something, I will. You can find out more about our book club in the book club app. That's where our book club takes place. We meet once a month, and you can find about Anne on her website, annebeer.com, and about myself, ifatchokef.com. And we would love you to join us in exploring more books, spiritual books in regard to parenting, and books with the intention of exploring spiritually aware parenting and all of its aspects.
Thank you.